Wellesley Town Hall, the iconic symbol of our community, has reopened its doors after a 20-month interior renovation. The goal? To acknowledge the building's past with a design that embraces the present. Vaulted ceilings and spectacular woodwork have been refurbished. Meeting rooms gleam with new glass walls and doors, and the previously whitewashed interior has been restored to its exposed brick Romanesque style. One of the most significant changes, a fully accessible new main entrance on Washington Street, where it's apparent you've arrived.
Had as the primary goal, it was something we presented from the very beginning. It was the first thing we wanted to do to this building, and that was restore the library entrance. Restore the entrance that is the most prominent entrance facing Washington Street that we felt was the public entrance. And we wanted that not only to be a restored entrance, but we wanted it to be a universal, accessible entrance that gave anyone coming into the building an immediate understanding of the entire building and not be lost. It's not the door to the basement that you then have to find your way to everything else. It's the door that you come in and you can immediately understand where all the public spaces are, where you are in the building, and get access to the most demanded services.
With the library building dating back to 1881 and the Town Hall addition dating back to 1885, the restoration was an undertaking on a grand scale. The two structures had changed some. The last major renovation was in 1985, and were joined together in a labyrinth of sloping floors and winding hallways.
So because the building was really these two separate buildings, one may think of the building as really sort of a modest three-story building, but it's really 5 levels. So, and originally it was probably even more like 6 or 7 levels because there were changes and modifications to the building that changed the footprint over time. So one of the main things that we tried to do was create some rational, just consistent floor levels about the building so it'd be easier to navigate, easier to plan, easier to modify in the future when things may change for the town.
The interior renovation was phase 2 of a plan that began with the restoration of the Town Hall exterior envelope. Completed in 2019, this phase 1 exterior work triggered guidelines from the Massachusetts Architectural Access Board, which required that Town Hall become fully accessible. To meet these requirements and improve the building's overall design, the town embarked on a nearly $24 million project, funded without a significant tax impact.
So there are various ways that you can fund a project like this. You can certainly go out and borrow the money, or we can look for other sources to pay that doesn't have the same impact on taxes that would have had. If we had gone out for significant borrowing, we would have required a debt exclusion and a town-wide vote, and that would have been fine. I'm quite confident that the community would have supported the work that we ended up doing here. But instead we were able to go to our reserves, which were quite significant and over the 8 to 12% guideline that we've set for ourselves as the Select Board. So we were able to pay for the total interior renovation through cash reserve.
As the project proponents, the Select Board oversaw the design and concept for the renovation in partnership with the Permanent Building Committee. PBC was responsible for shepherding the project forward and setting realistic expectations.
We were responsible to at least recommending the course of action for the town, keeping the vision and yet making it still be financially responsible and also achieving where we are now.
Some of the bigger challenges? Improving wayfinding and office visibility, relocating the elevator and stairs to a primary area on the first floor where hallways meet, reconfiguring offices and adding flexible workspace to allow for hybrid work, and finding creative ways to put modern systems and technology in a building that's almost 144 years old.
This appears to be a very grand building and has a grand presence on the exterior. However, inside it's a very tight and actually surprisingly small building. So making that building and that footprint work with all this added equipment is the primary challenge.
To support the town's goal of net zero greenhouse emissions by 2050, the renovations were consistent with the town's sustainable building guidelines.
And we went with heat pumps, and so the entire building is electrified. There's no fossil fuel in this building whatsoever. That's an extraordinary achievement in a building that's this old. And frankly, as we go through fine-tuning that system and trying to ensure that we have employee comfort first in mind, I'm very proud of the fact that we have been able to balance the old with the new, the past with the future.
The end result is nothing short of spectacular. From the two-tiered ceiling in the assessor's office, or the dramatic archway in the town clerk's office, to the European cathedral feel of the Great Hall, the jewel-like building that is Wellesley Town Hall is open and ready to welcome you.